So, welcome to the Sadcast podcast, episode 4. It hasn't been 3 months since we made a new one. Shut up. And
it's totally been 3 months since
today,
it'll probably be a month before this one goes up too.
Probably. And today we are joined with 4 people. It is me, Andrew.
We're joined with 4 people.
We're joined. We are now.
I wanted to break this sentence apart before we even start introducing people. Like, how does that work?
We're joined with 4 people.
This sounds sexy.
We're joined by. You said we're joined by 4 people.
Yeah.
Like, I assume that we is you and me. So, like, how many people does Wander count as? 'Cause I was gonna say 0 because he's not like a real life form.
Like 4, maybe.
Is that a fat joke?
I'm really dense.
Oh.
So, as you can hear from the other side, we do have Wander with us, and
we're joined by no people. We're joined by a robot and a bird.
Okay.
Because even though it's called Birdcatcher, we're going to continue to refer to him as an animal instead of acknowledging the part that it's like the job part of the title. So that's acceptable, right?
Maybe
it's
birds
like
can catch the birds.
It's like when you get someone's name wrong and then they correct you and you continue to say it wrong to their face as if they didn't correct you.
That's just spiteful. Also a dick move. Especially if you're like a foreigner in a land and you're just mispronouncing their name because you don't know the language. Now you look like a dick. It's actually not Hitler, it's Heiler. It's like, okay, Hitler.
Okay.
No, stop! People are going to hear you.
Wow, this has gotten down real.
We
just went straight for the Holocaust. Apparently.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, how are we going to one up talking about poop right off the bat on our first, if I remember right?
Chihuahua will always be an important part of Sadcast history. You're welcome.
No, I wanted to say something considering we're talking about mispronouncing people's names. I've got a viewer who I'm playing Hot and Cold with, where he gave me his name in text form and I'm trying to pronounce it in XCOM because one of my guys is named after him in XCOM. And every single time I come up with a new pronunciation for his name, it's driving me crazy. Because apparently Scandinavian has weird pronunciations.
Does he tell you if you're warmer and colder each time?
Post it and tell me which what's the name.
You're getting closer. Nope, that sounded more racist.
I'll type it out. It seems like it would be easy and phonetic, but it's not. It's just that. You'd think it's
that's a little tough.
Vaidas.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Is it not Vaidas?
Scandinavian though.
It's all
apparently I was closest with like Vaidas or something
his
like
claim,
that. And
his name is clearly pronounced as bork bork bork. So it's spelled Vaidas. You just
I could be wrong about the Scandinavian part. I'm
into Swedish.
I'm bad at this. Like it could be Swiss or something.
Andrew typed it in. First of all, I want to point out that you spelled Swedish sweet-ish, as in like we're going to fucking chocolate factory and everything. We're gonna get the fucking fart bubble floating wine or whatever the fuck it was called.
Ew. Oh. I don't want to talk about fart bubble floating wine. I've got a glass of wine here and it's tasty.
Now fart in it.
And then it becomes champagne.
Secret ingredients guarded by Transylvanians for decades.
Note to
or whatever
self,
the fuck.
Don't drink anything around you guys. I'm just gonna end up spraying it all over my monitor.
Us.
Well,
now you're just looking up a celebrity, Vaidas Story.
Well, I'm hoping that
he became popular after finishing the 3rd TV3 music reality show.
I was hoping they'd show you how to say his name. What the fuck is this cinematography bullshit?
It's
Valentina's wait.
Andrew, that's what we call culture.
I'm sorry, I think your H is upside down.
Okay, I'll be quite honest here, though. If there's any one of us to truly be, like, not even a closet racist, but, like, flat out just plain racist, it would be him.
What is that supposed to mean? That's racist.
He's from California. You know how Californians are.
California has, like, the most culture ever, aside from New York City.
We're just all gay surfers, 100%.
Oh, yeah,
that's the entire population of California.
Tell that to my elementary school
that was
in
some sick butt fucking dude.
SoCal. Nothing but Chinese people.
Where can you get gay married?
Massachusetts.
Did you say where can you gay married?
Okay.
Wait, is Massachusetts gay marriage or
legal?
pot?
Not in California. It's legal in New
both,
York.
Really?
And it's legal in Maryland. And DC.
Let me get a picture
I don't
of
know.
this.
State rights confuse me. I always forget everything.
So
we have civil unions in California. I like how political we've gotten, straight from Holocaust to gay marriage.
That's from 2013. My bad.
What the fuck is up with our brains?
Let me find one from fucking 2014.
I mean, we're trying to one-up scatological chihuahuas.
Okay, so we have
That was
1,
a
2,
badass
3,
chihuahua.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
That imaginary
9, 10,
chihuahua
11,
that is
12,
not
13,
real.
14, 15, 16. So we have 16 states. 16
No, there are
states allow.
50.
God damn it. Not in my book. I only count the ones that support gay marriage.
Okay.
So it's like the Confederacy, but fabulous.
What's
Oh,
going on
God.
7 years ago? Let me tell you, it was a
Fabulous
crazy
states
day.
of America.
I'm clipping the
Okay.
mic so bad.
So I have to say
that's
something
when you're
else.
having a good time.
I have to say something else while we're here. I'm also
Okay.
doing one of my paintings while we're doing this. And over the course of this video, just this short conversation, the robot man in the nice bulky armor went to naked-looking dude.
Is it because
your
of the
fault.
gay server conversation?
Oh, this is my
Yes.
favorite picture of it.
He's being inspired.
Oh, it's a hand-drawn rainbow picture. It's adorable.
So there's 16 states, and California's not one of them.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Is it now? I can't keep track of this shit.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's not.
Yeah, California
I
has it
remember
legal.
This is a weird topic. I remember that gay marriage video game.
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to be like a gaming channel or something, not
That's what we
social
strive
commentary.
to be.
What is this nonsense?
Welcome to the co-optional
Oh, fuck that
podcast.
shit.
We occasionally talk about video games. My co-host Jesse Cox.
Yeah, I believe we're still allowed to.
Stop.
Stop
Copyrights.
googling gay marriage. It's time to move. We need to move on to video games of some sort.
Sounds like
Okay.
he's got a fixation.
For example, we might want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's,
So
right?
have either of you heard of this game?
The hit new
I've
game came out
heard of
August
it.
18th.
I heard
Steam.
that a large part of it was just like doing nothing.
It's
Uh,
basically
complained about
it's
it.
basically a night trap horror game that takes place inside of a Chuck E. Cheese's.
What?
Except because it's a horror game, that
Night
means that
Trap is in the video game with like the Danny Plato and like the
where the
live
entire
action
game
stuff.
is you're looking at screens that are in pre-located spots.
Yeah, I sent you guys a link to the Steam page.
I guess comparing it to Night Trap makes it sound more charming than it really is, because that makes you think that's going to be hilarious live action segments you're cutting to
Wait,
instead of
is
static
Night
images.
Trap the one where you were like the teenage girls trapping
No, you
sketchy
were-
dudes?
You were
In
like the people that parked outside on the street and like activated the traps or something.
Yeah, you were essentially like
To
the
save the
FBI
girls.
that's secretly watching this entire house and intercepting all of these
Okay.
they're basically ninja demons that were coming in and trying to
They're
kill
putties.
everybody. Like
Yeah,
they're,
putties?
they're
Oh,
like the
man,
putty
that's
they're like
dread.
the putty of the Foot Clan or
I just
something.
want to make sure I'm talking about the right game here, or at least
yeah,
know
I
what
sent
you're
I
talking
sent
about.
the link inside of the chat.
But
Yeah,
at
you got
least in
the
that game, you could press a button to activate the trap, and then that was like gameplay. In Five Nights at Freddy's, you're looking around at all these different camera angles, and the camera angles are all like, look at, oh, it's a Chuck E. Cheese's at night, basically, and that's it. You just keep looking around, and the only interaction you can do is you can open or close the doors to your left and right, or open or turn on and off the lights that are outside them. So you're just sitting in a security booth at night, and you can like close doors to defend yourself, but that's the entire gameplay, just sitting still.
That sounds like so much fun.
And so eventually animatronics show up and they're gonna eat you, because apparently like they won't recognize you as a person. They think that you're just an animatronic that's not in its suit, so they force you into one and kill you in the
I got the
process.
feeling, looking at this stuff, that they made the art and the models before they made the game.
Yeah, it seems like, because the entire game is aside from the jump scare kill animation where like a guy the screen turns black and like the bear jumps at you, basically the entire game is completely static. You're watching non-moving things just sit on a screen, which is dumb in itself, because the scariest thing about Chuck E. Cheese's is watching them move, because it looks horrible and terrifying.
Wait, it's a game about animatronics and they don't even move?
No, they
irony is-
They
pull the Weeping Angels shit where they teleport.
Yeah,
when
they
you're not
move.
looking.
Well, they
That's
move.
stupid.
Sorta. They move under the guise of when the cameras aren't watching them.
Yeah.
They're moving. You can hear them rustle about.
Yeah.
But you just can't see them
They
moving.
move. Yeah, they just show up places when you're looking around. But like the scariest thing about animatronics is like the way they look, and they're all jerky and they're vibrating and shit, and it looks like this terrifying like fake thing.
If I remember, there is a spot where they do move. I think if you're watching them from the hall right before the room next to you,
You see them walk
you
up
can
or something.
see them like kind of running to the door, and you're like, close.
I just noticed that the The tags for this game are horror, indie, family friendly,
and cute and anime.
Cute anime.
Cute anime. Yep.
Well, you gave it cute anime. It says those tags you've applied to it.
There's multiple tags. I just picked the ones I thought were fitting.
Female protagonist.
Yes.
But basically, this game is a really cheaply made, lazy abortion.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's made by one guy, so that's kind of what you expect at that point. But
yeah, I creeped on his Steam history. He has another game up called The Desolate Hope, it looks.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Guess what we're doing tomorrow, Andrew?
Yeah, that's the next thing for you.
I bet that game's a bunch of static images too.
It looks like it could be a point and click.
It's a point and click adventure game.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
But like, this game brings up a thing that I've been having issues with for a long time on Steam, which is that if you look on almost any game on all of Steam, the user reviews are basically useless because they're almost exclusively positive reviews, and that's because it's basically because if you're someone who actually visits the page for a game, the people who visit them the most are the people who like the game, so they're gonna just downvote all the people who don't like the game. And so you just have
kind of depends.
Like so many unless it's one of those games that has like fan outrage, like Firefall or something. Like basically the entire page the front page is always just populated by these positive reviews, glowing, beautiful things like this guy is like, I got yiffed to death by a bear, 10 out of 10. And it's like, fuck you, man. This game's terrible, and you're tricking people into thinking it's going to be good.
It looks like by and large, all the reviews, the reviewers have like 0.6 hours on record, which is a really weird way to measure time too. Because I have to convert like 0.6 hours is 40 minutes.
Decimals out of something that's not 100.
Excuse me, pirate guy who got fucked by an animatronic fox pirate was playing it for 1 hour and 8.
Jesus,
it's like 1.8 hours.
1.8 hours.
So,
which is
by the way, this game is not that
40?
long.
No, it's not long.
The game is
It can't
not...
be long because we almost finished the first night in like 12 minutes.
Yes.
And the game is called Five Nights at Freddy's.
The game in total is about
so it's got to be like an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah. If you're actually
but we ran into a problem where when you first fire up the game, there's a guy it's like the previous employee that did your job. It left a recording. Then it sort of introduces you to like the mechanic. No, he says I'm leaving a message.
Oh, right.
So it's a recording. But he introduced the concept of the game and the mechanics a little bit. But he talks for 3 solid minutes to the point where like literally the call starts where in-game time is midnight, and when he finishes talking to you, the in-game clock is at 2 o'clock in the morning. And the game and each night ends at like 6 a.m. if I'm correct.
Yes. So
like he literally talks through a third of the first level. And at that point we didn't know what the fuck was going on. So like Andrew's like turning lights on and opening and closing doors and like and then by the time he finishes talking, like we're halfway through the entirety of our power. And so we're already gimped ourselves to to the point where we literally can't beat the level. And at that point we're
just has like a power system.
Yeah, you have electricity at a cap. And we already blew through so much of it while he was still talking about how the game works. So at that point,
who's the power company? Comcast?
That's the extra baffling thing.
Excuse me, you don't understand the lore of Freddy. You don't understand why it's important. The reason that the reason they can't keep it on is because they cannot afford to keep the electricity on that late. Excuse you. Fuck.
Except then where's the electricity coming from? Is there like a generator that's made out of like olive oil?
So they can't afford it. So they have it on a limiter. So if you use the electricity too much, then it cuts it off. So that way they don't pay much.
They also probably can't afford the fucking life insurance for all the fucking security guards that'll die.
Because they say on the ad
murder investigations.
They say on the ad that they're not liable for any dismemberment that happens. So apparently it absolves them of all the pays.
I don't
the
think
protagonist
that's
of this game.
binding.
That is not. This entire fucking game is an asshole.
The protagonist of this game is willing to work for $120 a week.
Which is $5
die
a
in the
day.
Process.
What? He's working for $5 a day.
That's
You mean $5 an hour?
Essentially, $5.
$5 an hour.
Yes, $5 an hour. Sorry.
$5 a day would be what we call $25.
Yes, sorry.
The protagonist
or
from Papers,
$35
Please,
depending on weekends.
The protagonist from Papers, Please earned more money than that.
He did. Yeah.
He earned about basically every day, pretty much. He would earn about more than that, probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, everything you do dwindles power, and there's no way of getting it back. And you also always lose power no matter what, even if you do all the conserving you can possibly do. So we basically immediately fucked ourselves by trying to play the game at all. And so the power just ran out, and then the thing killed us. And it's like, you're faced with the choice at that point of like, do I want to replay that entire boring ass 12-minute level where nothing happened?
You can
just
mute the
so I
call.
can beat it this time. You can do what?
You can mute the call.
Yeah, but I mean, the call's not important to that thing.
But starts the game sooner.
So
It doesn't start the game
at least
sooner.
design the
Do you mute
first
it?
like level?
The first third of the level passes in time while the call's happening.
Yeah.
It's like the call's irrelevant to the passage of time.
Yeah, if you mute the
Like,
call, it skips to 2 a.m.
Wait, what?
Yeah. If you don't want to listen to all the boring
That's
backstory
weird, okay.
and start the game, you can
But
mute
you still
the
have
call.
to deal with the bullshit of just you have to sit through a boring ass level you already sat through just because at the very end you died, and
Yeah.
it's astronomically boring.
But it's... Also, in the plot description, it says... It was, instead of hiring a mechanic to fix the animatronic robots who wander about only at night and hurt people, it was easier to just hire a security guard to guard nothing. Because they don't do any damage.
That's called
Jesus.
a lampshade hang, I
Like-
guess, and that's a particularly bad one.
Like, what the fuck is the purpose then? Because everyone acknowledged that these robots move around, even in the plot, like, and the beginning lore.
Everyone knows that this building's
Yes.
full of murderer robots.
We like literally,
And they take completely unreasonable precautions for dealing with it.
Yeah, and because when we were doing it, we had the volume kind of lower so that way we can hear, like we can talk, but also not have the game be too loud. And when I played it on my own, I was able to just hear the full story of what the guy was saying. He's just like, yeah, we had them walking around one time during the day, but they hurt people, so now we just don't do that anymore. It's like,
So why do you have them ever?
by the way, this has been
What?
happening since the 50s. Since the fucking 50s, no one's hired a repairman.
Wait,
what the fuck is the lore that says it would be cheaper?
Wow. I
They
did
can't
not.
afford to
I
pay
did
for
not-
electricity. They can't afford a mechanic that deals with occult possessed.
What do you need
Bears.
fucking money? What do you need to keep a pizza place for? Keep the animatronics in a fucking arena and have them kill people.
Wait,
you
sorry, are you-
totally make the money back.
Wait, I
Jesus.
totally missed this detail. So they don't use these animatronics during the day?
They do. They don't let them wander.
Oh.
They have them tied to a machine.
What kind of fucked up,
So they can't time the machine
horrible
at
thing
night.
is this?
Well, apparently not. Apparently at night they take them off because, like, on you think about Chuck E. Cheese where they're stuck on the stage all the time.
Why aren't they just always stuck?
I don't know.
Fucking fuse them
I
to the
don't
stage
fucking
because
know.
they kill people.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. This plot is so bad. I don't get why they would ever unhook them.
How did it take them like 50 years to still not come up with a basic solution for this?
I don't
You
even
know,
know how they
my
could afford. Okay, so here's the premise. They
Why
can't
don't they just
afford.
hire 3 people to wear suits at this point instead? Because they know that those won't kill people. Unless you
well,
hire like the Manson family.
Here's a weirder part. So they can't afford electricity, but your security booth has 2 giant metal plated doors that come down from the ceiling. They literally install a security system that
they
probably
have Star
cost.
Trek doors.
Yes, they bought a security system that costs more than the establishment probably makes
It's probably
in a
why
day.
the doors use up your power in like 30 seconds.
What? Where do you get the money to install that? Also, here's a weird premise. Did you know that your security system is done through an iPad, which has no use of using the entire security system or the electricity for the facility at all?
What's the what's the battery life on that iPad? That has to last all night or you're fucked.
powers
You just
the
die.
doors, so-
Apple, you fucked me.
But it's
You really went downhill when
No,
Steve
but
Jobs died.
that's where all the
But somehow-
power's going.
But somehow the power is draining from using the iPad. Plug it in when it's low on battery then. Then you could still use the security system and not waste any of the energy. What a fucking awful
this is
game.
like-
Steve Jobs is just like, I died and now I'm taking you with me.
He's the one who made the animatronics too, the bastard.
It's just him.
Just his master plan.
It's just him.
I die so that animatronics may have their real day. They are the true inheritors of this planet.
Giving away a free copy on the forum for this game. It looks like there's a second giveaway too. So if
Jesus
you want
Christ.
copies of this game,
If this game had
you
physical
can just
copies,
get
there'd be a
raffles.
lot more giveaways because
Yeah.
everyone wants to get rid of theirs.
This is
Oh,
so
what a fucking
bad.
abortion.
It's.
But
I mean,
I want to point out that the jump scare was so bad that like I don't get scared of video games very easily, but when I'm recording Let's Plays, I'm inherently more vocal all the time, so that makes me I often have like startled sounding vocal reactions to shit all the time in horror games, even when I'm not that scared, just because I'm in like stream of consciousness talk mode and everything, because I'm already talking, so I make a startled sound all the time. This game, the fucking jump scare happened, and it was just dead silence in the commentary from both of us.
Yeah.
Neither of us even slightly
We were
reacted,
both
which
just
is
like,
it was really
oh.
disappointing because fucking Crafty Gnomes Gaming is the guy that in Skype, he's like, this game scared the fucking shit out of me. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna buy this because it's $5, and I'll just at worst we'll have a dumb video, but maybe I'll fuck with Andrew for a bit. And it was just so disappointing.
Never works.
I'm so mad at gnomes right now.
So you know what you should have bought instead for $5? That Mount Your Friends game. Have you guys looked at that yet?
Yeah, we did an Xbox Live indie game.
We are the Mount Your Friends fucking hipsters, because that game has taken off. We played Mount Your Friends like the moment it came out on Xbox Live indie games.
Yeah.
And
I realize.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you don't have it on Steam, so I can't play it with you.
Yeah, that is true.
You shit.
Well, yeah, we didn't buy it because there's no reason to. We already did a gameplay of it.
I should buy that game just for a few dollars just so I can play with all the assholes I know, but I knew before all of you how funny that game was.
Yeah.
That game's really fucking cool.
There's also now skins for, like, Jesse Cox, Dodger, and,
That's disturbing.
Yeah, they got made skins for them.
Yeah, that's a little
weird. Does Dodger have a helicopter dick too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, she's a guy. Yeah.
That's perfect.
I am halfway through making my own custom skin for that, and I'm still trying to figure out what the dick
Are you trying to make a Wanderbot skin?
Yep.
Oh
yeah,
no.
it's gonna have nipples though, so that's complication.
The dick should be a
nipple
corn on
bot.
the cob.
Huh.
I heard that's
How
a
about I'll
mod. Is that they're all just corn?
Well, you can switch
Children of the corn.
you can switch the dick out for like a banana, a box, some other stuff.
A puppy.
But not corn?
I
A
don't know.
401k.
What?
After I say 401k, the puppy is the one you
Well,
react
I'm trying to imagine, like, how do you even grab onto a puppy? Like,
Wait, what?
because the point of the game is that you can grab onto certain body parts of the people and climb, and the dick is one of the parts you can grab onto. How do you grab onto a puppy? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But isn't that... Well, I mean, I'm just imagining, like, a swinging puppy. Like, this puppy's probably, like...
If you say the puppy's dick, you're an awful person, Andrew.
Yeah.
Why would you even think of that?
Andrew,
no,
stop fapping off puppies.
I'm an
That's
awful person.
disturbing.
Stop talking about having sex with puppies,
puppy is
Andrew. What's
attached
wrong
to
with
your
you?
dick.
You
Isn't
degenerate.
that worse than anything else? Like, that's the premise.
Why do you like to grab puppies all the time, Andrew? What's your problem?
Because they're
What's
cuddly
wrong
and
with
He's
soft.
a racist. He's a racist and has bestiality issues. Fantastic.
Why not? Maybe they're just one and the same.
Well, people are
What?
animals.
He's
That's a
racist
good point.
against puppies. That's why he has all this non-consensual stuff with them.
This is.
We're just,
I don't know how
we're
to
just building the
properly
lore of the
respond to
skeleton
that.
key.
I like how you're making it sound like just any animal I have improper sexual contact with.
That's literally all you do. I have to split that shit up so that we can start playing Let's Plays and stuff
What?
every single day.
What are you
It's clearly,
talking
it's
about?
obviously what's happening in here. This is just this entire garage is just like a sex dungeon for the local zoo.
Yes,
there is no local zoo.
With all animals not being here. That's so weird.
What the fuck tangent are we on?
I don't even know.
I don't understand
Anyways,
my life
if you
anymore.
to finish up Freddy's, if you go click on only negative reviews, there are literally only 4 negative reviews. One of them is mine.
That's a little bit disappointing that the Steam review system is kind of broken, because apart from just most of them being positive, a lot of them are joke reviews too. It's
Oh yeah.
a lot of the Goat Simulator ones weren't even constructive, and go figure, it's Goat Simulator. But it's not just Goat Simulator. It's I don't know, what's a good example?
Little
bet
one
Divinity-
sentence jokes or things are this one wacky thing happened. 10 out of 10 is the number go to top rated review ever.
Yeah. I
So,
think just in
okay.
general, a whole lot of
Dark
the Steam
Souls 2,
community
it's
stuff
so
is
hard I
completely
can't
broken.
launch it. What did you just do?
What?
Yep, and Andrew just found one. One of the positive reviews of this game is, as someone who has worked security in real life, I can confirm that this is accurate.
So I'm
Positive
looking at
review, better than Call of Duty.
So I think it actually also depends on the genre. I just looked at the reviews for Divinity Original Sin, and they're actually all thought out reviews, and
It's
So-
because you can't play that game with no attention span.
it's true. What's a
Divinity.
I don't have a whole lot
is-
of those games.
Yeah, because the most games, it's easier to buy silly games than games that sound like work.
Actually, I have a lot of games that sound like work and not a lot of silly games.
Yeah.
But Divinity Original Sin is a fascinating game. So it's
That is a really good one.
Yeah, it is. So it's it's sort of like this Baldur's Gate old style top down multiplayer RPG with a party and everything. But the I'm sorry, Andrew just brought up Secret of the Magic Crystals, the unicorn game, and one of the tags is survival horror.
But I'm just ripping off the people that made Don't Shit Your Pants, which is a survival horror game.
Okay.
That's
I am
perfect.
looking at the reviews for Warframe, and the first one's actually like well thought out, and then the third one is it'll give you back your virginity.
Wow.
Yep, that de-escalated quickly.
So Divinity Original Sin, is that a sequel to Divine Divinity? Because that's the
So-
one I've played.
No.
Oh
And-
god.
Yes. Same
Okay.
universe, same company. A lot of same like overarching plot themes if you read into it, but it's like, political movements in the background that you really don't give a shit about. But it has nothing to do with any of the previous Divinity games. Like
Most of the
Dragon
Divinity
Commander.
games don't have anything to do with the previous Divinity games.
Yeah, it's like
it was a Kickstarter.
Yeah. It's like they've got a roulette wheel in their office, and it's just like, what genre do we want to make today?
Yeah, the only thing Divinity games have in common is that they're all technically RPGs on some
Yeah.
level, but they're every spectrum of RPG. Because like the original Divinity, I think, is like a Diablo-style dungeon crawler. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a dungeon crawler.
Ego Draconis, aka Dragon Knight Saga, is
AKA
basically Dragon
Divinity
Age
2.
2. Yeah, Divinity 2 is basically Dragon Age, specifically Dragon Age 2.
Okay.
Original Sin is basically
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, and freaking Dragon Commander is like a political simulator mixed with an RTS.
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah,
That sounds fun.
with also dragon flying segments.
with
I want to
dragons
say.
and
So-
it appears to be blimps.
Yes.
Like you can fuck a
So-
skeleton, and then it turns into a real person, and then you can sell her into slavery or something. Like that's just the
I've
type of
played
game
a
it
fair
is.
amount of Divinity Dragon Commander, and I actually really like the game for the political thing, because it's kind of interesting. The character dialogue is interesting. The actual gameplay, like the RTS stuff,
I've
is
heard it's really
awful.
simple.
It is so bad.
That's
Yeah.
what happens
Like,
when you
I'm
try
on-
to cover too many bases, though, with one game.
The
Yeah,
entire
I'm
the
on
entire basis of
easy, and
recommendations
it's
for
not even
Dragon
fun.
Commander seems to be people being psyched about just the cool shit that can happen in it, basically.
Yeah.
And the original
Yeah,
Sin's the same thing. Like you go on, like we're in the middle of solving a murder, and you start like matchmaking the mayor's cat because you can
Yes.
talk to cats. Because
I
you took
also
the perk
got-
that lets you talk to animals, and they wrote dialogue for every animal in the entire goddamn video game.
Yeah, that sounds like
And
Andrew's
You're
Paradise.
just going on quests and shit.
Why would you even spend the time to get that kind of
Puppies
power
are
up?
like, oh,
Because it was
Andrew.
Wanderbots. And because it was kind of amazing. We got evidence from a murder because there was a rat that witnessed the murder.
Yeah. So the funny thing about
Rat
the
can fucking distinguish shit. He's just like, yeah, that guy was walking around being all sneaky-like. It kind of
Well,
felt related to me.
they gave us like an accurate description of
racist.
the people.
Confirmation! Andrew's racist against animals.
Yeah.
Rats are sneaky. They
the
created a
rat was
plague.
actually giving us an accurate description of the murderers,
It's
Just like-
yeah.
play
don't
by
think-
play.
I don't think
far
rats
better
have that
than
kind of
anybody
memory
else.
span.
I don't know if that stands up in court. The the rat alibi.
Well, considering you're the only one who can hear them talking, no. Everyone else thinks you're crazy.
The voices
in my
head say this guy's evil.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my next witness is a ghost. But
Okay,
only
but-
I can see him.
Let's be serious though. This is an RPG set back in like the Middle Ages, essentially, with magic and shit.
Yeah,
the moment we find out like
just
who's
execute
actually
someone for
guilty.
fun. How dare you not mute your phone, you
not
monster!
my phone.
I'll finish this joke. The moment we find out somebody's guilty, we're going to kill them. Right? Is
yeah.
that the joke?
That's hilarious.
That was the
You're
worst
really
timing
funny,
on a
Bird.
phone call I've ever gotten. But yeah, the moment we find
Wander,
out
your
who
joke sucked. And we
I
can
will
end it
admit-
there.
yeah, okay, podcast over. See you guys next
What
time.
were we going to say, Wander?
I
I
feel like the-
know now.
The moment we find out who's the murderer, we're just gonna go in and kill the guy. No judge, no jury, no executioner, no need for proof. It's just
We're
gonna
gonna
be
have
like,
an executioner.
you did it, stabbing. Well, okay,
Well, it's-
fine. No,
I
like,
mean-
legitimized executioner.
We already killed a guy just
No.
because he didn't want us to go in his back room.
So you're not going to get a licensed executioner. You're going to get an amateur. I see.
Excuse
Yep.
me, I'm a professional.
Well, it's kind of like
I'm
it's,
technically making money in this deal. I mean, it's on him, but still.
I mean, isn't most of them like the Middle Ages like that anyways? Just people running around with swords, lopping people, and it's like, well, like, he was evil, so I guess it's okay.
True, but we were talking about evidence with rats.
I just realized that if you murder people in real life and you take their wallets afterwards, that makes you a professional.
What if the writers in this game... Okay, what if we're not giving them enough credit? Maybe the writers in this game actually researched a case from, like, 1396 or something, where they brought in a rat.
That's not a real deer.
No.
No, it could have happened.
That year literally never happened.
Well, people run around in swords. I mean, we clearly
Did you just say they run around in swords?
No, I was just saying we've done so little research into the medieval era. Maybe they've done more than us.
Spoilers: they all died of plagues because they didn't know that poop was bad.
So one of the best things about Divinity: Original Sin is obviously you can reload.
God damn it, Andrew! Andrew looked up using mouse as a he's looking up an example of using a mouse as a victim to crime, and the fucking first result's fucking Ferguson.
What the fuck? What does that have to do with a mouse?
It's like, thanks for bringing that into the screen.
God damn it.
That's
we left
useful.
the political stuff at the start of the podcast. We're not going to dive into this.
I don't see
Andrew, get that shit
that's
out of
way
here.
worse than
Why
Hitler.
is police hired highlighted as if police was what I was looking for?
Why did... I think that
since we're moving away
search
from
engines
political
just
stuff,
stopped working, didn't they?
Yes.
Like, he typed using mouse as witness to crime, and it's bolding with and police everywhere, as if those were in his search engine. I recently used Bing, which was a mistake, and I typed a series of words like invisible and 30 frames per second and retro and stuff like that, trying to figure out a solution for the fact that 60 frame per second games...
You can't figure that out. It's impossible.
Yeah, like 60 FPS games, they take you take damage, your character flashes, and the recording in 30 frames per second, he just turns invisible for a while. Mm-hmm. So I was looking up a solution for that, and like I typed that shit into the Bing, and one of the first results is like child porn software download. I'm like, what the fuck? And like, it was like retro child porn or whatever was like bolded as if that was what I was searching for, and I'm like, how did you get child porn out of those words? I don't know how that happened.
I don't think I like this podcast anymore, Bird.
Like I said, I hope that the software was to report.
Is it because of the Hitler, Ferguson, or child porn?
We're talking to a guy with bestiality issues and a guy with child porn issues.
The tags for this video are going to be great.
Oh, God.
So moving away from the political stuff, Zoe, let's not.
Yeah, the politics of
Next
child
up,
porn.
abortions.
We have clearly dated this podcast, though.
By talking about Ferguson?
Not really.
What?
That's really going on forever.
It's really going on when you upload.
Yeah, the really grim thing is finding out that they're still protesting when this goes up like a month from now.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
That would be...
I'd be surprised.
That is really sad.
Jesus, how's that population still existing? Just start killing them off, my
I
man.
feel like the economy should be dead at that point, like
Yeah,
locally.
I mean, who's
just
going to
a solid month of protesting?
Who the fuck's going to like Ferguson for anything anymore? It's just fucking riots. Fuck it.
Just evolved straight back into the rats that we're talking about with the Black Plague, because everyone's just shitting in the sidewalks because no one's paying for utilities anymore. we fucking spawn a new superbug.
It'd be even weirder though if like when you do upload this, like there's an actual case of like a rat testifying to a murder where like it involves animatronics or something. It just ties in everything.
Lizzle Stewart.
What?
They call him Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, that is a mouse. God damn it.
We've gone full circle.
Oh no! Well, I don't want to go full circle back to Freddy's. That's a terrible place to end up. I want to escape Freddy's. I want to be a tangent to Freddy's. What are you looking up?
Oh
Chuck
my
E. Cheese
God.
murder.
Jesus Christ.
The politics of killing.
This is a thing.
15 years after the Chuck E. Cheese murders happened in Aurora.
Okay, Keith,
Why does
I think you
Aurora
should
have
just...
a terrible mass murder history? Why is everyone getting mass murdered in Aurora? Isn't that where the theater
Pro
happened?
tip, don't move to Aurora.
Yeah, seriously. We just randomly stumbled upon another Aurora massacre. Also, we're making light of a lot of terrible, horrible things.
That's what
No,
they're
you
for.
guys are.
Like
I'm
Hitler.
I'm just over here.
Now you know what it's
Judging
My
us.
name.
Now you know what it's
Dragging
like
mud.
just daily life over here.
I don't even remember this. Why? This was 2008? I was alive then. I don't remember reading this.
Are you sure? I don't remember you in 2008.
Well, that's
Maybe he was
possible.
one of the victims, and this is how he like finds out or something.
The last 3 years of Let's Play are just his personal hell.
What is this accomplishment, by the way? Like, one day this kid's gonna be like, I was the sole survivor of the Chuck E. Cheese shooting. He's like the great Chuck E. Cheese massacre of '08. I survived.
Ladies, form a line to my left.
Every time I speak of this, it reopens
Wait,
the
it's
wounds.
a fucking it's a 50-year-old man.
Wait, what?
What was
no,
a
that's
50-year-old man
different
doing
lady.
at a Chuck E. Cheese to begin with?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shooting everyone,
This guy-
apparently.
This guy was. Oh, this is a different one. This is in Colorado Springs. Great! Chuck E. Cheese is a site for murder. Like,
Why is
Where?
everyone dying at Chuck E. Cheese's?
Where a kid can be a kid.
What is this,
forever.
like, midnight meat train bullshit?
wait, this guy was 20 years old and he's talking about it like scarred him for life? What were you doing at Chuck E. Cheese at 20?
That is like a
Hey,
weird black
hey.
hole where no one should be at Chuck E.
It's-
Cheese's, huh?
it's like the-
you're there
it's
as
the
a child
cheapest
or
play
an
you-
adult.
It's the cheapest place you can go to play skee-ball. Shut up.
No, it's not. You
Why do you want to?
Stay
Who's
for the
gonna
ball pit.
drive out of your way to play skee ball?
Also, if you're 20 years old, get a fucking job and buy a skee ball table. Like, you fucking lazy shit.
Where is this on a skee-ball
No,
table?
the guy
Yeah,
you just
seriously.
made up is way worse than the guy that drives to play skee ball.
Is
the guy
he?
who owns a skee ball table is like the dredge of society.
How?
Like, that's the most embarrassing. That is like the kind of person that like, this is my in-depth analysis of the corruption of Total Biscuit. I'm a neckbeard with a headset on YouTube.
Oh, right. Like, that's
that
better
kind
than
of guy.
a 20-year-old
Like,
hanging out at Chuck
that's
E.
the same
Cheese.
tier
What is
as
he-
the skee ball owner.
I mean, what does a guy 20 hanging out at Chuck E. Cheese look like playing skee ball? He looks like
Maybe he wanted to play Mario Kart.
oh, he laughs at the kids that lose at skee ball. He's like, yeah, in your face, been here since 1991.
Maybe he just shoves the
No.
kids that are playing skee ball. That was my experience.
I call dibs.
Last time I went to Stars, which is like our equivalent of Chuck E. Cheese's locally. It's like a bowling alley arcade place.
We have a Chuck
like,
E. Cheese. Like,
yeah, but that's like in Fairfield. It's far away or
oh,
whatever.
fuck, that's 5 minutes.
But like when I was at Stars, I was playing DDR with my brother, and someone just like full on like football tackled us in the middle of a song.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What?
And we're like,
What?
well, we can't do anything
Wow.
about them. They're the big kids because they were like probably like 20, and we were like 15.
Wait, okay, so adults tackled you to get you out of the way to play DDR?
They were just being drunk assholes, basically, and they
That's
they
even
basically
sadder
ass-
than
they
the people
basically
that owns the
assaulted
skee
people.
balls.
And
They
no one working there was like, excuse me,
Have you seen Stars before?
Yeah.
That is where hope
The
goes
way
to
you,
die.
you opened up
Well,
this
yeah,
story,
but
I assume that you like did this like last week. And
No,
I was like,
no.
oh, who are you to
No,
judge?
I did
You're
this as
like
a
older than 20, and you're going to like a skee ball.
no. I did
DDR
this as like a
place.
fresh high school student.
he's just
Oh,
standing
okay.
there at a DDR machine, so just tackles
And
him as an adult.
in the distance life, in the
I
year
picture-
that the Xbox 360 came out.
Yeah,
I even
I'm
picture
imagining.
like a younger, like a kid tackling him to play DDR.
Did it
I-
scar
I'm
you?
just
Did you ever, like,
imagining-
did you ever not buy DDR for the consoles because you're afraid some guy was going to come through your door and tackle you?
Every time I talk about it, it reopens the wounds.
I'm just imagining a young Keith, 15 or whatever, getting tackled by like a greasy, overweight neckbeard guy with strangely muscled legs. Is this accurate?
Strangely muscled legs. His
didn't-
favorite
we
day
didn't
was
record
leg
the
day.
knuckle stuff. They don't know. They don't know.
His favorite day was leg day. I have a bad history of playing DDR at Stars, actually. I think the next time I played DDR, I threw up.
Jesus.
It turns
Oh,
out
man.
that hydration is important when you're exercising.
What the fuck are you doing on DDR that causes
See,
dehydration?
As a kid, I played DDR.
Growing up.
As a
Jeez.
young kid, I played DDR constantly, but the post-World of Warcraft me was less apt to playing DDR and led to me throwing the fuck up at a Stars.
All that
That
explains
never got
things.
That must
sick of
have
playing a
been a
video game.
low point in your life, man.
It's because you're incapable of putting on body weight.
Well, that's true.
You must have really looked at yourself and been
You're
like,
a-
"What am I doing?
You're
I'm throwing
a
up
mummy.
in star in
You're like-
stars."
The fuck am I? So you're basically like a skeleton wrapped in saran wrap. Like that's your physique.
That's a description.
Like it makes it very easy to play games like DDR without throwing up. But when you put on 50 pounds by playing too much World of Warcraft for 2 years straight,
50 pounds.
yeah.
Holy
That was-
shit.
You're just like, I'm
No.
never gonna let this happen to me again.
No,
I resolved to be a
before-
Let's Player.
Before World of Warcraft, I looked like Andrew.
Jesus.
Damn.
And after
That
World
game
of Warcraft,
really did a number on you.
after World of Warcraft, I actually didn't look that bad. But
Oh,
it,
I remember
but
this.
It was a significant number.
Do you remember the Sandy Hook thing?
Stop!
What?
Stop!
Yes, I remember
Stop
Sandy
looking
Hook.
up these things.
I know. I just looked up DDR murder.
You looked up Dance Revolution murder, and it brought up Sandy Hook.
Apparently, the guy said he played a lot of Dance Dance Revolution.
That is my favorite part about murders in the news lately, is that they always just randomly bring up, and he liked to play Dark Souls and stuff like that.
I know. Okay, Sandy Hook was like a legitimate massacre.
Yeah.
This man did not gain practice from DDR. Don't fucking bullshit
For some
yourself.
reason, they bring up completely irrelevant information, like it caused it. Like, he played Dance Dance Revolution. Aye, your little butterflies kill Ronald Reagan. Like that's like all of those Japanese songs are programming you to murder.
I'm just imagining there's a guy and the cops show up and they're like, okay, you're under arrest. And they have all the guns pointed at him and he just starts doing a DDR move and they can't shoot him. And he's like, damn DDR, why couldn't we have prevented kids from playing this?
He's so good at moving in 4 directions.
We give up. He gets to live.
Kind of in the same vein, I remember the whole like Norway thing, and they were talking about how the guy played excessive amounts of World of Warcraft, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah, like it's just not an important.
No, that's
Really
really
didn't play enough. Otherwise, he would have had something to do instead of
Yeah, I know.
master plan.
Like, this one girl murdered one of her classmates. She liked to play Dark Souls, a game where you kill things. It's like, you're trying really hard right now.
Though,
But, like,
on
the-
the flip side, did you guys hear about the attempted murder a couple months back, where it was like 2 14-year-old girls stabbing the shit out of another one because Slenderman told them to?
Yeah.
What?
Slenderman doesn't even stab people!
And then they really like went after the guy who made, or like I don't know who actually made it, if it's a guy or not. The person who made like a lot of those games,
Videos,
and then they were like, I don't know. That's kind of like, I'm sure that they're dealing with enough guilt too to kind of like insinuate this is your fault.
No.
Like,
Okay, this girl is fat and ugly. She did this because she wanted attention. Don't even try. Look at this bitch. She is hideous looking. And she is...
Slenderman doesn't even stab people. He kidnaps people.
I was just so politically correct not 10 seconds ago about like gender neutrality, and then you come around with like,
No,
she
she's
was
she's a sad girl.
That's because Andrew's a terrible
Yeah,
person.
she's a sad girl who got picked on at school and played Slenderman a lot and decided to just pretend to do something to get attention because no one loves her. Even her father hates her. Look at that. That is a face of a father who is not happy to be at a ball game with her daughter. He's
It'd
just
be
like,
nice if you gave us the picture so we'd know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that
sorry.
horizontal dent in his face is from her first attempt to like slender stab people.
Good job. Those aren't handcuffs. She's like got chains on.
That
She'd
is
be
actually.
dragged off to a medieval
Oh,
dungeon.
she's zip tied.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she's zip tied and she's chained.
She has a chain that people are holding onto, I think, to keep
Yeah.
track of her, like a dog.
Like, as if she's gonna stab somebody in a fucking courtroom and all these cops can't keep control of her. Like, no one could just taser her if she stands up. It's like, alright, look.
I'm just disappointed with her terrible understanding of Slenderman lore. She, if she was emulating Slenderman, she would have kidnapped her friend.
Yeah, well, they wanted
Wait.
to go live with him in his house in the woods or some weird shit like that.
Motherfucker is a demon through time and space. He doesn't own a fucking cottage in the middle of the woods. What the fuck is
Wow.
this? This isn't...
And this is Slenderman's timeshare.
Yeah, like...
He likes to come up here every other weekend. It really just
Every
brings
other
peace
weekend,
to his
he owns
soul.
a lot
Okay,
of shares.
that is exactly here. This is perfect. This is exactly like here where we live. There we have what's his face, the Zodiac Killer, and we have in
By the way, I didn't know that for a long time.
that he was in San
I
Francisco.
knew about the Zodiac Killer like as a thing,
Yeah.
but then I watched Zodiac and they're like, and here we are in Vacaville, and I'm like, what? Get away from me! No, that's like they have scenes of that movie that are in like places I've been to. I'm like, no, stop it! This
Really?
movie got too real.
I haven't seen
It's
that
creeping
movie.
me out.
Anyways, so Zodiac Killer was this guy somewhere in California, northern area. No one ever saw him. so no
Mostly
one
like
knew.
right here though.
Yeah, but in any case, so there's this house, there's like farmhouse that's in Vacaville, and people assume it's the Zodiac Shack. It's not. The Zodiac Shack is located actually like way
in Andrew's garage.
Yeah, and
with all of the animals.
And so
the animals of the Zodiac.
And so,
bringing it back.
There we go.
Yeah, is one of the members.
And so here's kind of a good introduction to
It's a Zodiac animal.
I want to bring this to a good life story about myself. So I went there with a couple of friends to the Zodiac Shack.
You don't have good life stories.
No, I don't. And so we went there, and our entire goal was to just pretend like it was spooky. And it wasn't. It was thrashed, torn down, and had graffiti all over the place. And so
you should have been filming like a fake like ghost. Was it like
Ghostbusters or Ghost Hunters?
Ghost Hunters episode.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's cold over here. Oh my god.
It's so cold. Billy, push that chair over. Oh, the chair moved.
Oh my god, gravity.
But anyway, so as we were leaving this Zodiac Shack, we ended up getting pulled over by a cop who informed us that it is dangerous for kids to hang out there because people perform animal sacrifices in the facility. And he was listing off stuff like, there's people who get lost, there's graffiti, vandalism, animal sacrifices.
Also, if you want to kidnap some children, that's like the #1 place to look.
Oh yeah, and so well, I was like in high school at this point.
How is this going to be a positive story?
Okay, the positive comes at the end. So, anyways, so the cop...
all of his friends are dead.
So the cop, describes his animal sacrifices, and I thought it was odd that was he just kind of brushed over it like it was nothing. So I asked him what kind of animals, and he wouldn't tell me. And so I said, well, was it like... live animals or dead animals?
Are there 12?
And, and so in any case, he leaves and he actually first he asks, if any of us, he asks us for ID. And so we all give it, everybody in the car gives him ID. And then he goes, he stops for a second and he goes, and he looks at us like really hard, like he's like contemplating something. And there's only just 4 people in the car. I'm like, dude, we're all just high school kids. We ain't gonna fucking do anything. And so he goes like, okay, I'll let you off with a warning now, but next time. And so he walks off, and I was like, okay, that's weird. I go home. 2 weeks later, in the paper, there is a cop that was hanging around at the Zodiac place, pretending to be a cop, who was kidnapping people and killing them in that shack.
Oh my god.
That was the guy who pulled us over.
Oh my god.
The only reason he didn't take us is because he only kidnapped women. And we had 2 girls in the car, but 2 guys as well, so he wouldn't take the 2 girls because it wouldn't make sense to just take the 2 women.
Crap.
So that's the positive, that we did not get murdered at the Zodiac Shack.
And people say there's nothing hard about being a woman.
In fairness, that guy...
Check your white male privilege, Andrew.
It is weird because the guy did pull us over in like a 2001 Chevy Tahoe with no police anything on it. It was just like a regular dude's car, but he was dressed in SWAT gear.
Also, what's the ID thing? I always wonder when police ask for ID and it's not like a driver's license thing to verify that you're allowed to drive or whatever. What are they gonna do if you don't have an ID?
You know what? That's funny that you mentioned that. I was the only one that brought physical ID because I drove.
Yeah.
Everyone else didn't. So we literally just had them write fake stuff on a piece of paper and hand it to
So
them.
if regular people just don't have identification,
you just
can you just randomly get in trouble for not having an ID on you?
No,
you have to give you have to give your information over to them.
Yeah.
So but since he was I guess a bad moral of the story is the guy only knows where I lived. Everyone else gave him fake IDs.
He's coming for you, Andrew.
No, that was my old house. So he's gonna go
coming
kill
for
the new tenants.
I hope you didn't put in a forward address.
I didn't.
Googled
Actually,
some
it
of the
was
details of the story. I Googled cop impersonator Zodiac Shack. That seems reasonable enough. #1 result
Child
comes
porn.
from ZodiacKillerTruth.com. Truth is in all capitals. And, strikes me as pretty legitimate. The website, of course, looks like it's a GeoCities website.
Andrew, why does your search not involve Zodiac?
Oh, I don't know.
I just tried to find it too, and he just skipped the whole Zodiac word. That seems like an important part of the SEO. He's like, fake cop Vacaville murder.
It's kind of hard to find this because it was a really old fucking Vacaville Reporter story. Let me see, Vacaville Reporter.
So now everyone knows where you guys live.
Wait. Retarded CHP. Is it? I'm not retarded. I just said retarded, didn't I? Shit.
Yeah.
It says retired CHP's suspected Zodiac killer is dead. It's like, way to fucking just piss on the grave of someone after that. It's like, I thought he was the Zodiac killer. I'm like, dude, leave him alone. His family's trying to grieve and he's dead. Why is that a story? It's horrible. By the way, I want to point out that our local paper is just called The Reporter. It's the back of a reporter. But it's just called,
that was the newspaper I could have worked for in college.
It's just the laziest.
Reporter?
The laziest.
Well,
What the fuck is this? This is
Like
like
a long
such a...
commute, man.
I lived in California for a while.
age. Yeah, he refers to himself as a temporarily displaced Californian.
Yep.
Why can I not find this? Like,
So what's it
someone
like
just
being a
didn't-
gay surfer in New York?
Very boring. Not a lot of
Where you
surfing
can't
to
get
be
married.
done.
Not enough
Or you can't
waves,
get married.
too many rats.
Yeah, you can get married now, but I'm more of a swinger type than
You're gonna marry a rat?
yeah, you know,
So,
Yeah.
if I can swing it.
What's a video game someone's played recently?
Dude, let's talk about
what's-
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's a
here's
good one,
played
actually.
it except for maybe Bird, I think.
I haven't
Yep,
played
right?
like anything ever.
That's because
So-
you're not a real person that plays video games.
I play games that came out on like
It's-
DOS
deep down,
and
you're
stuff.
just actually a real bird.
How did you know?
Because you don't play fucking Mario Kart like a person. That's the
Hey,
human
Bird as a
test. You
character, that's
failed.
close enough.
Stop reading police officer reports, Andrew.
here
We're
you
moving
go.
on. How can you
This
not
is
tell?
it. This is actually it.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, no, wait. That was
Moved on.
2013.
Who gives a crap?
God damn it.
Andrew, I'm trying to talk about Mario
Keith-
Kart here. How are you not biting this?
Okay,
it's
Mario
like all
Kart.
you've been doing.
I'm here, Mario
You've
Kart.
been playing so much Mario Kart.
I have been. I played a lot of Mario Kart. So what are we talking about Mario Kart? What about it?
I was
Yes.
gonna complain about it for a second before you guys could talk about other stuff.
It's
Okay,
I
go.
really hate
horrible
the fact that they
game.
don't let you.
I'm joking.
I hate the fact that they don't let you split screen, so one person's on the gamepad and one person's on the TV. The fact that
That's
they didn't
absolutely
do
not
that
true.
pisses me off to
Split
no
screen.
end.
There is
That's
split
bad.
screen.
Our next episode of Mario Kart is going to be split screen.
The video that came out today is the video that came out today is a 2-person video of people playing.
So I wonder,
Mario
why are
Kart.
you so bad at Wii U?
What?
Yeah, the Mario Kart 8 has split screen.
I played 2-player split screen.
Well, it
with
has split
Andrew,
screen, but you
and
can't
we
put
played
one
3
person on the gamepad.
Oh, that's what you wanted.
Oh, you mean you want someone to be able to
Oh.
use the gamepad as
See,
a screen?
You said you can't have split screen.
Yeah.
Which
No, I said
Is-
on
that
the
hasn't-
gamepad. You guys weren't listening.
no, like if you say split screen, there's an inherent meaning for that word. So it makes it very confusing to say. You should have just
Look,
said like
there
it won't
isn't
let you put one
exactly
person on the
proper
gamepad.
terminology here.
Just say it won't let you play it on the gamepad separately from the other player.
Yeah, fine.
You went
Just
straight
like,
for
I
split screen,
wanted
so
to
we
play
were
the
like,
shell.
"What the fuck? Why are you so bad at this?"
Oh, so you want it so
Okay,
that
fine,
one person
shut up.
has their screen on the Wii U gamepad and then the other person has it on the TV?
He wants to have the asynchronous
So
gameplay
only one person has an
experience.
advantage?
Because only one person can see
Yeah.
both screens.
Yeah, so one person doesn't fucking have any concept.
The true
Also,
Mario Kart experience
you
begins
already
here.
get a huge advantage by having the Wii U screen because you could turn it to the map and see where everybody is and what items they have. And the person playing with the
pretty
other controller
bullshit.
has no idea what's going on.
That's so bullshit. What? You have
Yeah.
that? You had
Yeah.
that the whole
I
time?
had that the whole time.
You monster.
That's how I knew people had red shells behind me.
Ah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I haven't
No,
had
you
that
do that.
information. I hate
Yeah.
you. I'll never play with you again. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's one of the options. There's 3 options. You can either choose a screen.
Now the audience
a map,
knows that
or
you
a horn.
cheated.
I didn't cheat.
Now deep down,
Which is-
everyone knows
It's
that
on
I
the Wii U.
only, literally the only reason I lost, period, is because you're cheating with that screen, and not for any other completely legitimate reasons
Except
like
there was-
skill or knowledge of the game,
Except there's AI, which doesn't make.
which often beat both of us.
Yeah. So what the fuck is that telling you?
Jesus Christ.
But
I'm a little disappointed you guys didn't invite me.
To
what,
Mario Kart?
Well, if you live
We
here,
don't have you on our Mario thing.
Well, you should get me on your Mario thing.
I didn't know you had a
Oh.
Wii U until
yeah.
very recently.
What the fuck? If you have a Wii U, then send me a friend request.
Yeah, see, this is all your problem now.
It's
see
not
how we turn this
hard.
around on you?
Let me tell you what my username is.
There you go. Guess what? It's the one that's always the one. Turns out
Apple
it's never
son of
taken
buttface,
because
okay.
what the fuck is it?
Yeah, it's always the same.
Oh, Jesus.
By the way,
I want to point out that he made his profile on my Wii U like a year and a half ago, and he just got a Wii U, And so apparently he had to call customer support to transfer the profile to his current Wii U because there's just no there's no way of doing that.
Yep.
Huh.
Like the most basic thing that like Xbox did
Nintendo
at launch,
is
Nintendo
very
doesn't know.
backwards.
Yeah.
So
They're so confused by
one thing
online.
that terrifies me. One thing that terrifies me about Nintendo is if you have like digital download stuff. So say if you downloaded Pikmin 3 or whatever, and you don't have physical media, and your Wii
It's
U
just
dies and
permanently
it's
stuck to the
unrecoverable.
console. You're
It's
just screwed.
Well, pretty much, yeah. You would have to rebuy the game.
What?
Yeah,
Why? It's still
that
it's in your
terrifies
list
me.
of purchases.
Yeah, but they just don't bother.
Yep. Nope. Yep. They don't care. You have to
They
rebuy it.
know.
If you get a 3DS and you buy Fire Emblem Awakening like I did, like if I lose my 3DS, they count that as me losing the game.
I guess
That's
like,
not how they
pay for
acted
the
when I called them.
license, like, to
That's how they
install
that's
it
at least
then?
how they acted back when I checked last. They might have
Oh.
they might be making progress,
They-
kind of like how they're like, oh yeah, we should respect YouTube and stuff like that.
No, they still don't respect.
So they might be
YouTube, but-
progressively
Yeah, they don't.
learning about YouTube.
But
I
they
mean, about
they
the
certainly
internet.
don't have that attitude when I called them because they asked us like, "Do you have any games that was on the other Wii U?" And I was like, I don't know. Could you check?" And they're like, "Okay." Well, we see one game, and I was like, "Okay, then just download it." And they're like, "Okay." I was like, "All right, thanks."
Wow. That's
were
fairly
you-
progressive.
So you were able to download your game?
No, you downloaded a demo of something, so it downloaded on mine too.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
like I don't know if you
Because
could have
I
ever.
didn't buy a game,
Yeah.
but they said that I had one on there, and I was like, "Okay, we'll just
Yeah,
download
but
it."
I'm
then.
saying like I think they might have been warning you. Like they might have been about to warn you if you did have any games you actually bought because you might not have been able to actually play them again. Like you might not be able to take them with you. Because I don't know. Last time I checked, which admittedly has been a while, you were just fucked. Like,
Yeah.
games were just stuck to consoles forever.
Here's what I've decided to do as an easy way to fix this problem is I bought a case for a solid state drive I have. I'm going to use that and put all of my downloads that I buy from the Nintendo Network onto that solid state drive.
So then if
that
anything
way-
happens to your Wii U, you can just plug it into the next one.
I just plug it into a next one.
I don't know if that'll work though.
That does
it
work.
doesn't
I don't
work.
think that'll work.
I thought that does
It's
work.
probably tied to
Nope.
your Mac or your console
It-
number.
They said it's
Yep.
no. They said it's attached to your account.
Well,
I
they're
don't
going to
know.
say lots of things, but who knows how it actually works? You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's like,
Like,
the Big
push comes to
Bang and
shove, maybe you'll
evolution
actually-
and stuff, man.
Well, I'm just
Hey,
saying, like, maybe you'll actually
politics.
try that and it
Stop
won't
it.
work whatsoever.
Yeah. I get the feeling you're setting yourself up for grief doing that.
Yeah.
Let's continue to have a conversation about a system we don't understand. Yay!
Yeah. Nintendo is practically wizardry sometimes.
Pretty much.
It looks like you can transfer.
You literally found a thread that says, I keep hearing different things about this.
Yeah.
It's like, what a coincidence. So have I. Do we want to talk
Warning,
about
there be questions without many answers.
Do we want to talk about PT?
Yeah, let's talk about PT.
So do you guys know
PT?
about PT at all?
It's like a Silent Hill demo thing. I haven't played
Yeah.
it, but I watched other people play it.
Basically, in the middle of Gamescom, a free download was added to PlayStation 4 network, and it was called PT, just initials with dots on them. And when you get to the end of it, you find out that it's a playable teaser is what it stood for, and it's a teaser to inform you of the fact that Norman Reedus is starring in a game called Silent Hills, made by Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima. But
Yeah.
we don't know much about the game itself. It successfully, like, I played it with Andrew and Joe, and I didn't tell them what it was because I already knew what it was. Because that's
You're talking about the teaser, not Silent Hills,
yeah,
right?
no, yeah,
Okay.
just the teaser because Silent Hills doesn't exist yet,
Yeah.
and they might not have
Just
even started
clarifying.
making it for all we know. But PT, I knew it was Silent Hills because that was literally the only way to find out about it. Was everyone just flat out announced it being Silent Hills on all the like Destructoid and everything like that. Like you don't get the chance to discover it that way. But what I did is I played it with Joe and Andrew without telling them anything about it. I didn't even tell them what PT stood for. So as far as they knew, we were just playing a free like game, and they both came to the conclusion like these people would make a good Silent Hill game and stuff like that just midway through the playthrough. So like clearly some element of like the atmosphere of Silent Hill is being successfully captured there, but the demo itself, we don't know if it's representative in any way of the final product because of the fact that they say like they even say like this doesn't represent anything. So like, and it's hard to gauge what that means. Like, is the tone different? Is the gameplay different, or story different, or is this a demo of concepts they're playing with, or is it just like we just wanted to make a thing and then we're moving on to the actual project?
I'm banking on the last one, honestly, because I
Yeah.
don't see how a whole lot of, anything could really be carried over to a Silent Hill game.
Right, because it's a first-person game that takes place in one room.
Mm-hmm.
But the game actually is super interesting, and it has really good atmosphere, really good scares, and it's not just lazy jump scares. It's like really fucked up, disturbing stuff happening, like babies that talk to you.
The fetus that spoke was definitely my favorite part.
Yeah, which I don't think we even encountered.
It didn't even speak, it cried.
No, we never saw that. There's a part where the fetus will look at you, and it just starts talking to you in this grown man's voice.
Oh, that's in the bathroom when during the speed run, right?
Yeah. We never encountered that particular thing.
We did, but you ran past it.
Yeah, we didn't happen to see it basically. Yeah. Just like how there's certain places where ghosts can show up that we never saw. But that game's full of really cool shit.
I've heard that the ending is there's 5 different ways to beat it, but it all leads to the same ending. But the way each way is really convoluted and difficult to pull off. Sometimes you have to whisper into your microphone. And sometimes you just have to walk a certain number of steps.
That's ultimately the problem we ran into, is that
is there still no definitive answer?
It's a fascinating teaser for a Silent Hill game, and it's a great concept, but the ending of that game is basically torture. Because if you set out with the purpose of trying to beat this teaser, it feels impossible. And even as people go into it, it's in no ways at all a puzzle. It's just random nonsense, this random sequence of events that are incredibly specific. Are how you beat it. And even Hideo Kojima said himself that he thought people would take a week to beat it. So it's a really shameless attempt to just be if we put this impossible ending in here, people will discuss it like crazy on forums, and that'll generate buzz, which is genius. But it's also a dick move. Such a dick move.
I think that with Fez, though, he, a lot of the puzzles were, straight up impossible without basically looking into the source code and stuff like that.
But it sounded, at least Fez's puzzles were puzzles, though.
Yeah.
They were crazy puzzles, you have to know binary for this one and stuff like that, but it seemed like they were all actual puzzles when you're doing the nega cubes or whatever this crazy super hard stuff was. This game was completely
impossible puzzles, though. They're not puzzles, they're just you have to crack open the source and look at it. That's not really a puzzle, you know?
Yeah. But PT was just non sequitur nonsense, unfortunately. And so it really soured the experience for us because we were just all right, we just spent 2 hours walking in this infinitely looping room and just nothing is happening, and that's it. It's just a dark room where nothing happens.
A very specific sequence of events to pull it off, to pull the ending off. In fact, most of the videos that I've seen, they don't
3 times and answer a phone basically, but the reasons that the baby laughs are just random.
Yeah, no one has still a solution on how to beat this.
I do get a kick out of the fact that many people have come to the conclusion, though, that you need to be streaming or using a microphone to beat it, just because, midway through us doing it, I was thinking, Hideo Kojima, he's the guy that was unplug your controller during this boss fight, or, so you like to play Castlevania in the middle of, Metal Gear Solid. So I was totally thinking, what, well, we know that all these people that we're watching stream are beating this game, and we automatically just assume that's because they're recording it. They're recording it, so we're watching it. That's just part of that process, so we don't consider it as a step. But I had this moment where I'm what if streaming is required to beat it? And I was it was just haha, that would be funny, haha. And then people think that's genuinely how you beat it. It's I don't understand.
It's been more than a week now since the trailers come out. Why hasn't Kojima come out and said how you beat it?
Because he wants people to obsess over his teaser to generate buzz.
He said he was going to, but he's never going to.
It's not a puzzle that has a solution that you get by using information given to you. It's just random nonsense that's inherently obtuse. It's inherently obtuse on purpose because he wants people to talk about this game.
But that's not true, because every game has a command that causes.
Yeah, but I'm saying a puzzle is something where you're given information and then you solve this complex thing with that information. That's inherently what a puzzle is.
I wonder
this thing's not a puzzle. It's random, complete nonsense with super specific conditions that are inherently so obtuse that it's almost impossible to actually find out without being just told by a guide or something. And so as long as he doesn't tell us, it's just sort of up in the air. But he doesn't want to tell us because the whole point is just to get people to talk about the game a lot, because it's supposed to tease Silent Hills.
I'm surprised no one's tried
which I think will be a good game.
I'm surprised no one's tried to dissect the game yet, try to tear apart the code and find exactly what triggers it.
Someone may have.
No, it doesn't look like it, because it is a download, so it does make it harder to do so.
Because it's exclusive to PlayStation?
Yeah, well, no, because since it's a download, you can't just it's not like a file like in Windows where you just open up the game folder and be like, oh, there it is, derp derp. Like, you actually have to...
Yeah, that's how I open all my files.
Yeah, you
And
just
to be
start
fair,
with derp derp sounds.
If it's compiled, like, that makes it already a lot harder. Like, if there's a script that you can access that's kind of written in, like, Lua or, like, some readable language, then that's one thing. But if it's, like, actually compiled, like, hard-coded, and you're not going to figure out what the triggers are without, like, extensively, like, pouring through the source code.
But it'd be nice to know...
Yeah.
Like, exactly what the fuck.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if he never says anything, and he's just like, oh, the official answer will spoil the mystery or something like that.
He would totally not answer, but, like...
I'm sure.
Ultimately, I'm psyched about Silent Hills because this seems like they could make a great game. I'm just bummed that they intentionally made a demo that will, like, where the ending will just sort of give you a bad experience.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just nothingness.
I mean, maybe some people...
there's nothing entertaining about trying to solve it.
Yeah, maybe some people don't mind that. Maybe some people like the challenge, but, like, me personally, I like Silent Hill games are okay games, but I would never play this just based on that playable teaser.
Yeah.
Because that pissed me off. That just, like, frustrates me that it's like, well, if you wanted to tease something, then fucking have an end. Well, there has to be an end.
It's not even really so much a demo for the game. It's like this unrelated thing that they're like, we promise this is kind of related, but maybe it won't be.
It's the next step in Hideo Kojima's continued trend of increasingly nonsensical ways of teasing games, basically. Because when he announced Phantom Pain, he did it through a fake company, and it was just a game called Phantom Pain and nothing else. And you see this guy with like a band that has bandages all over his body crawling through a burning hospital and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you see the Phantom Pain logo, and then that was the end of the trailer. And then people were like, oh, but if you take these words and they're like an anagram for Hideo Kojima, and if you take the Metal Gear Solid logo, it actually perfectly fits into all these weird black spots that are like gaps in the Phantom Pain logo, and like it's like he's just making weird, obscure. He's just having fun with dumb ways to announce games, basically.
I mean, the only thing that's positive about this is that I did watch a recent interview with him, and Kojima did say that he's like, it's really boring playing a game where you know how the story ends. Which is what he's doing with Metal Gear Solid, because, you know, Phantom Pain is in the past leading to the present.
Yeah.
So he's stuck in this loop of, like, now I have to finish
he hates that he's
story.
making a prequel to a game because in his universe, like, most characters are dead and a lot of things are just sort of solved by the end of Metal Gear Solid 4.
So there's no surprise he can have at Phantom Pain aside from Big Boss becomes evil. Whoa, what? Oh, wait, I knew that because I played Metal Gear 1 through everything else. So, like, he said, like, it would be really great to have a game that doesn't have any constraints on me because then I could just let loose. And it was like, oh, good, Kojima, yeah, that's what you need.
The story for Metal Gear Solid, or Metal Gear as a universe in general, is so incomprehensible to me that I basically just play every game in a vacuum.
Pretty much.
I just don't think of the other games.
Well,
really?
For me, the guy that looks like Snake in every game is just Snake. He just is Snake in every game.
Once you get to Metal Gear Solid 2, that's when that really starts to kick in. The early titles didn't have that so much.
Because they were also like chronological at first, weren't they?
Yeah, that's also
until 3 came out and started screwing everything up.
If he feels like he's limited by the games, then why does he always have to make things in lore, like already matured, like canon?
Because I think he wanted to end with Solid Snake, and even, Old Snake. The problem is Kojima wants to be a movie director.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he can't be.
Well,
because
he technically
nobody
is.
He's like David Cage.
He really is. But the thing is, he can actually get money through the games industry because people will actually fund him.
True.
/ his own company will. Whereas if he tried to pitch a movie to anyone, they'd kick him out.
Yeah. I like that he's showing more restraint now.
You know what's really weird about that,
if you look
though?
at, like, David Cage wants to make movies, and he's just blatantly making every game he makes more and more movie-like to the point where it's like you have Beyond Two Souls where, like, if you just don't press buttons for half the game, like, you'll get, like, slightly worse things happening, then it branches, but the game just will play itself. It will absolutely just finish.
I mean, at the end of the day,
like,
nothing of the choices you make throughout the entire game have any weight.
Yeah.
Because it all depends on, like, well, where do you want to go? Okay, the end.
But, like, Hideo Kojima's another person that's always like, I want to make movies. So, like, people were like, they were worried that Metal Gear Solid 4 was symbolizing him being, like, doing the same thing as David Cage, where it's like, let's make this more and more movie-like. Here, let's have a 90-minute cutscene in the middle of our game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool
okay with that.
It's kind of cool that Metal Gear Solid 5 is, like, an open world where it's like when we saw the demo of it, like, we just watched someone play the game for like 40 minutes and there was no cutscenes.
Yeah.
And like maybe like 2 lines of dialogue. And it's like, even though he loves the movie idea and the cinematic stuff and all this quirky, crazy nonsense that he likes to put in his games, which is really welcome, like putting a PS4 box on your head for camouflage.
Yeah.
He's reserved enough to like acknowledge that he's supposed to make a game still.
Well,
And
he did
5 looks
mention that
amazing.
the only reason that Metal Gear Solid 4 got out of control the way it did is because he was trying to tell a story, but the story couldn't be concisely fit into things that you play through. It had to be stuff that had to be shown. And he said in 5, it's nice because with the open world, he condensed the story into a bunch of, like, the main story itself is still something you can avoid, but you can understand the story more by going in different directions, and that there are mini cutscenes throughout an entire level, but there's only one main cutscene for the game.
Yeah.
So basically, you could be playing a mission, and you'll, like, happen to find 2 people, and you're like, oh, I guess I should probably take these people with me. And that brings a whole different perspective to the story than it would if you missed them. But it doesn't need to be shoved in your face like 4 did, where it's like, you have to know everything going on. And that's like, yeah, that's a good sign of like, oh, you understood that like maybe not everybody has to be forced how, like, the story down their throat. They can just find it gradually.
Nanomachines, yo.
It's really interesting
really hope-
that, like, he's bringing on Guillermo del Toro then, because, you know, we were talking about how he wants to break into movies and stuff, and how it's like he can't go up to somebody and be like, I'm going to make a movie, but people who make movies can come up to video game people and, I guess, have these sorts of partnerships and these projects.
It makes more sense with Guillermo del Toro, though, just because he... Pacific Rim? Like...
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I can't imagine. I mean, del Toro does... I mean, he does.
Del Toro's
like
a master of monster design.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what Silent Hill is. Is that if you know, Kojima can't make monsters, he's not.
Like
I mean,
the guy that makes Pan's Labyrinth and Hellboy 2 is going to help the next Silent Hill game. Like that's a huge plus.
That's the best
exciting.
thing you could. That's the best thing that's happened to Silent Hill since like the first game,
Pretty much.
when they had like actually unique, creepy looking monsters. And I mean, it's like that's going to be great for the franchise. I don't know about that actor Norman Reedus being in it though. I don't.
He's a good actor.
He'll be fine. He actually does a good job in Walking Dead. It's just you don't like Walking Dead.
Well, no, but he just looks.
Unfortunately,
like I guess my problem is because he still also looks like the Walking Dead character.
yeah,
like,
he looks
that-
exactly like
That's
what he
the
looks
problem.
like in Walking Dead.
At least give him a beard or something. I don't fucking know. Like,
to be fair, he looks like that in everything.
yeah. So
he
it's
looked
just
like that in.
That's frustrating.
He looked like. Oh Jesus, dog, stop. He looked like
Shitting
that
everywhere.
in
No.
Boondock Saints. He looked like that in whatever the fucking horror movie. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, he just
Hella
always looks
movies,
the same. I
yo.
wish he just looked different in this game.
That guy's been in stuff.
So, anyways, it's been going on for a while. We should probably wrap up.
Yeah, let's next time.
Yeah,
next time on Sadcast.
Next time on the Sadcast.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll record in less than 3 months.
Yes.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
We won't.
That will be the goal. That will be the goal. Will be to record in
Maybe.
less than 3 months.
So our guests were Birdcatcher and Wanderbot. You can find them at Birdcatcher Games and Wanderbots.
Yep.
Yes.
And
They're less good than us, though, so don't.
hey,
Hey.
yeah.
The only reason I
Thank you
agreed
guys
to
for
do
coming.
this was to steal your subs.
You should subscribe to Sebastian SB.
Or
And then make a new account and subscribe again. I'm
Jeez.
that good. I'm so much better than them. It's amazing.
Well, they'd have to
I
watch.
shall eclipse the sun. PewDiePie will be my bitch this time next year.
No.
This is completely realistic projections.
No.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, we need to stop this podcast.
Yes. And cut.
I need to pee really bad. So, 3, 2, 1, record. We all good?
Yeah, we could.
Nothing says perfect sync word like a 2-syllable one.
Yeah. Especially with a little delay between the 3 and the
Yeah, it's
record.
3,
Well, it's
2.
okay.
All right, everyone, we're recording in 3, 2, 1. Geronimo.
Do we do it on the
Only
jur
recorded
or
the
the raw
O, right?
or the
I
n-
don't, who cares? It's only like a whole word off in sync, right? That won't be a problem.
Probably
or
not.
a
It's
score
online.
and 7 years ago. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. 7 years.